Hey y'all, it's me, Kevvie. So I started my booktube channel for Agatha Christie. I'd been reading a ton of her work and really didn't have anyone to discuss it with. So I came on YouTube and found all these other Agatha Christie readers on booktube. In the first year or so, I read nearly 50 of her books and put out a new Christie video every 5 to 7 reads. I was hoping to finish all of Christie's mysteries in 2022. That did not happen. I found so many other great book recommendations and readathons and books that I was gifted that Christie just became a lower priority. So here's an update of all the Christies I've read in the past year and change, as well as a recap of what I read for the Christie's Missing Readathon. I've been putting off this video because it just felt like such a massive undertaking. So just so I can finally have it done, I'm going to be as concise as possible, kind of like how I did my best and worst of 2022 videos. Last year, I read Murder in Mesopotamia for a Try to Solve an Agatha Christie vlog. Poirot visits an excavation site where a woman is afraid she's been haunted. I did solve it, and it was so good. The Moving Finger was an interesting marple. Poison pen letters are being sent all over town, and one of them leads to someone's death. It was pretty good, and amusing to see Christie try to tackle the newfangled concept of feminism. The Mystery of the Blue Train was Christie's first novel after her disappearance. It's considered to be one of her worst mysteries, so I didn't expect much. But it wasn't as bad as I expected, even if it was slow to get started. I love that this book features a male impersonator. I'm just surprised that she knew what a male impersonator was. I love that she knew of my people, that gender benders and crossdressers even existed. Why Didn't They Ask Evans is a standalone mystery, but I'd say it's not so much mystery as more like one of her thriller/adventure novels. Kind of in the same vein as The Man in the Brown Suit, The Secret Adversary, or The Big Four. Christie's adventure stories can be hit or miss, and this was definitely one of the better ones. On the Agatha Christie subreddit, there was a poll a year or two ago to rank all the Poirot novels, and I was deeply bitter that my least favorite, The Clocks, was only in second to last place, usurped only by Black Coffee. The problem with the ranking system was that fewer people had read Black Coffee, so each negative rank carried more weight. I wanted to read Black Coffee so I could rank it higher and return The Clocks to its rightful position. It was fine. Definitely better than The Clocks. Postern of Fate is the last book in the Tommy and Tuppence series. I'd heard it was too long and too rambling, so I did this one as an audiobook, so maybe it wouldn't be so bad. This book suffered in a similar way to Dumb Witness, where the dog just played too large of a role. I just don't like books that try to shoehorn in an animal protagonist, especially when the rest of it's meant to be more realistic. Adventure of the Christmas Pudding is a delightful Christmas-themed short story starring Poirot, where a group of kids decide to stage a fake murder for Poirot to solve, and then the fake murder turns out to be real. Real lovely story, and perfectly captured that Christmas spirit. During the Christie's Missing Readathon, I read Partners in Crime, the second book in the Tommy and Tuppence series, and the last one I had to read. Partners in Crime is a short story collection set early in their lives when they're still setting up their detective business. They haven't yet formed their own detective identity, so in each story they impersonate a different detective. They do Sherlock Holmes and Father Brown, and the detective they impersonated for the final story was so much fun. There were a lot of detectives referenced whom I hadn't read before, so I can only imagine how much more I would get out of this had I read those. Now I'm going to quickly go over the other books I read for the Christie's Missing Readathon. On Audible, there is a completely free, don't even need an Audible subscription, recording of Agatha Christie herself narrating her autobiography. It is an abridged version, coming in at just over an hour long, but what a privilege to be able to hear these words coming directly from the author's mouth. It is an archival treasure that we are lucky to have access to, and I'm just so glad it exists. Then I listened to Agatha Christie's Poirot by Mark Aldridge. This book goes decade by decade, exploring the evolution of Poirot in both books and adaptations. I love that the author went beyond just looking at Christie's books and examined everything that came after her death as well. It was so cool seeing the way this character has continued to grow even after the death of the author. I also read The Red Lamp by my favorite mystery writer, Mary Roberts Rinehart. Yes, that's right, I like her even better than Agatha Christie. However, if you saw my worst reads of 2022 video, you know I did not like this book. One of the best things about Rinehart's work is her signature had I but known writing style, where the protagonist is writing down these events that happened some time ago and lamenting all the ways that they messed up. I never would have thought that birdcage would be the thing that brings the whole mystery together. If only I'd known then that that would be the last time I spoke to him. It's really fun. But the red lamp doesn't do that. Instead, it is a collection of daily journal entries describing the events as they're taking place over 4 months. Every single day for 4 months. I don't mind an epistolary novel, but this one really didn't work for me. So now we get to my favorite part of these Agatha Christie videos, the ranking. First, here's how I ranked all the Christies discussed in this video. Certainly wasn't the greatest batch, and with my best read also being the first read, things kinda went downhill from there. Now here we have my ranking of all the Christies I've read, adding in this latest bunch, color coordinated by star rating. Only one of this round's reads was a 5-star, Murder in Mesopotamia. Christmas Pudding and Partners in Crime were 4 stars. Blue Train and Evans, 3. Black Coffee and Postern of Fate, 2 stars. And there were no 1-star reads. And of course, nothing is worse than the clocks. Wow, I've nearly read 60 of Agatha Christie's books at this point. I'm so close to reading all of them. I'd love to get them all read this year. I don't know if that's gonna happen. Only time will tell, I guess. Of the Christies I've yet to read, which one do you think I should read next? Or what's your favorite Agatha Christie novel? Let me know in the comments below. And make sure to check out my Patreon to support me as a creator and unlock exclusive content. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if it pleases and sparkles, I'll see you in the next video. Mwah!